Shalom. The Torah this week, Parshat Lech, opens with the famous verse containing the divine call to Abraham. Vayomer Adonai el Avram. And the Lord spoke to Abraham. Lech lecha me'artzecha u'mimoladecha u'mibeit avicha. Get out of your country and your birthplace and your father's house. El haaretz asher areka, unto the land which I will show you. It is a powerful story of the uprooting of a man, his wife, and his followers from their ancestral homeland, and the unfolding of the drama that would be the adventures of Judaism's first family. Commentators notice the unusual order of God's command. The verse should have said, leave your father's house, your birthplace, and then your homeland. That would have been the logical sequence, because one first leaves one's home, then one's birthplace, your town, and then your homeland. So why is it reversed in the text? I think if it was referring to an emotional withdrawal, then yes, it is incorrectly reversed. Cutting off one's ties to family is hardest, more so than one's town and certainly one's homeland. But if it's referring to a physical withdrawal, then the order is correct. Leaving one's homeland is the cruelest of fates. Leaving one's family, one's familiar hometown surroundings are painful, but one at least remains in one's homeland. But to be forced to uproot and to go to a land where language, culture, music, religion, and even values are strikingly different, going to a place where what you believe, how you speak, and the traditions you uphold are tolerated at best, but often mocked, ridiculed, or worse, is a pain one can scarcely imagine. Actually, you don't have to imagine. Look at our world. There are now 68.5 million people worldwide who have been forcefully displaced due to persecution and violence. Most are internally displaced within the borders of their own countries, but over 25 million of those are refugees, forced to flee their homeland and cross an international border. Over half are under the age of 18. These are the highest numbers in recorded human history. Someone is displaced from their homeland approximately every 2 seconds. During 2017, conflict and persecution forced an average of nearly 44,000 individuals per day to leave their homes. Abraham was not a refugee in the truest sense, leaving home of his own volition, but he was a stranger in a strange land. He experienced many of the same challenges that today's refugees are forced to endure. Abraham's journey took him and Sarah to dangerous lands, many times fleeing for his life. And this was with the help of God. Millions of refugees today turn to God every day. And I believe God turns to us and asks us, what are we doing to protect the most vulnerable in our world? Less than 1% of refugees are ever resettled. And the United States traditionally has led the world in terms of resettlement. But not anymore. My friends, we need to change that. This Shabbat, B'nai Jacob's Synagogue and Temple Israel in Charleston are teaming up with congregations around the country for National Refugee Shabbat, joining with HIAS, one of the most respected agencies in the world that helps resettle and helps refugees rebuild new lives in safety and freedom. We're going to use this Shabbat as a meaningful opportunity to pause and deepen our understanding of today's global refugee crisis. We're going to connect with the Jewish movement for refugees and recommit to taking action in working for refugee resettlement and support. Join us Friday night, October 19th at Temple Israel, and Saturday morning, October 20th at B'nai Jacob, as my colleague and friend Rabbi Blair and I will speak about this critical work. I at his pulpit on Friday night, him at mine. We will speak in one voice to say that the story of the refugee is our story. Shabbat Shalom.